Ever wonder what Final Fantasy would be like if it were like a Pokemon game? Well, look no further because today I have a cute treat for you. Hello everyone, my name's Thekasapuppy and today I'm doing a full review of an obscenely adorable game by the name of World of Final Fantasy. Directed by Hiroki Chiba, World of Final Fantasy is a spin-off title that features many familiar faces and locations in a brand new world named Grymoire. Our main characters are Rain and Lawn, twins who have lost certain memories pertaining to their past as Mirage Keepers. What are Mirage Keepers, you ask? Well, a simplified way to explain it is like they're Pokemon trainers, but with Final Fantasy creatures. With the help of a mysterious woman by the name of Anna Cross, the two are given purpose to venture to the world of Grymoire in search of their missing parents and to reclaim their mirages and memories. As Rain and Lawn journey throughout Grymoire, they learn of an old lore known as the Crimson Prophecy, which tells of two giants from the hills coming to Grymoire and restoring peace to the world by gathering 4 keys and ascending the Crystal Tower. Skeptical, the two are thrust into following through with the prophecy, and their adventure leads them to meet new people and also a few troubles along the way. But what adventure doesn't have a problem here or there? This serves as our driving force and is pretty typical of Final Fantasies in the past. However, there are a few surprises that the story has in store for you, but I won't talk too much about it so that you can enjoy the twists and turns for yourself. Moving along, let's talk about our two protagonists, Rain and Lawn. Rain is a very studious and skeptical person. She's pretty much the brains of the operation and assesses each situation with due caution. She's quite collected, but not in the sense that she's serious all the time. In fact, she's actually quite humorous and sociable. If I had to point out a fault of hers, it would be that she overanalyzes a situation, and this causes her undue worry most of the time. Lawn, on the other hand, is quite the opposite of Rain. He's not quite there in the intelligence department and follows his gut feeling rather than thinking a situation through fully. He's loud and a bit obnoxious, but in a way that's endearing rather than off-putting. His personality is very charming when it comes to social aspects, and he's able to take a serious situation and lighten the mood, even if people would otherwise seek it. Though that's not to say that Lawn can't be serious. He's able to pick up on a serious matter and treat it as such, and takes failure personally. Our main cast is very well-rounded and exhibit a very realistic set of characteristics that a normal person can easily associate with, and this allows them to feel more believable than other games. But enough about Rain and Lawn, I think it's time to talk about the meat of the game, the gameplay. Much like your average Pokemon game or Shin Megami Tensei title, World of Final Fantasy has a unique tame mechanic. You're able to tame or imprison a monster in combat so long as you follow the set terms for imprisoning that unit. Once you've acquired that monster, you're able to use it as your own ally and add it to your stack. What's a stack? Well, in World of Final Fantasy, a stack is basically a construction of 3 units, a small, medium, and large unit to be precise. Filling up a stack with a unit from each size will give you a stat benefit such as strength, magic, defense, etc. You also share all 3 of the unit's HP as a single pool, making you able to withstand strong attacks and inflict more damage as well. In combat, you're allowed 2 stacks, so in total you have 6 allies in battle. You have the option of staying in your stack or unstacking. However, while unstacked, you do not benefit from the shared stat boost. Stacking and unstacking is completely situational, and you'll find that most of your combat experience will be inside of the stack, give or take, unstacking and restacking to reduce the wobble effect when taking damage from certain enemies. Other than stat boosts, while stacked, you can combine skills to acquire stat-specific attacks. With Red Dragon and Tama, you can double up on fire and unlock the ability to use Fire. With other units, you can even unlock special attacks which deal large amounts of damage or find combinations that increase your attacks or HP through use of certain buffs or restorative magic. The incentive to find new abilities invites you to mess around with the teams and see what goes with what, and gives you a reason to switch out your team from time to time. On top of stacking, we also have Mega Mirages, which are like summons. You're able to call a Mega Mirage for a large AP cost, and it'll join you in battle and deal large amounts of damage so long as you've leveled it up accordingly. Using a Mega Mirage is completely dependent on what you're fighting, because if you're fighting a fire element and use a fire-oriented Mega Mirage, it's safe to assume you're not going to do a whole lot of damage. Most of the times I've used Mega Mirages is when I wanted to dodge a particularly nasty attack, Because the way Mega Mirages work is they get their own HP bar and will stay in combat until either their HP is expended or their AP, whichever comes first. So if you're worried about a certain attack attempting to down you, maybe try using a Mega Mirage to take the brunt of the damage. You could say they're kinda like the Guardian Forces in Final Fantasy VIII in how they have a separate HP bar. And last but certainly not least, let's talk about the champion medals. Champion medals, in a sense, are the real summons of this title. Depending on the champion medal you use, you will either do a large-scale attack, heal, or even resurrect your fallen party members. Each medal also has its own passive ability it places on the party as well, and can be used to help strengthen your attack or defenses, or even dispel an enemy's buffs. Champion medals are extremely handy, but come at a cost. To use a medal, you must use up a set amount of star points. Your star points basically control how often you can use a medal. When used, it will take time to recover a lost star point, and to obtain the point again, you must either defeat enemies or take damage in battle. While this happens, the gauge in the bottom left of your screen, if you use the basic menu that is, will slowly begin to fill up. If you use the classic menu, you can push L1 to change and check on its progress, or check from the main menu. The purpose of star points is to force you to use your attack strategically, and to balance combat so you don't steamroll through the enemies with ease. All in all, the gameplay of World of Final Fantasy is quite enjoyable, and there is a lot to be unlocked and gathered. Now, I think it's time we touch base on an important part of any story-driven game: the music. Having gone through this game, I can say one thing for certain: the tracks in this game are absolutely amazing. Something about the music is very calming and downright soothing. The mood is set very well and doesn't detract from what is currently happening story-wise. And even when it changes up and gets aggressive, the track follows up well and keeps up with the change and doesn't seem out of place at all. One of my favorite tracks is the music that plays when you idle in Plaza 99, or even the music that accompanies the gate in Silver Park. There are so many more, but most of them are rehashes of Final Fantasy songs, and don't get me wrong, they are done amazingly well, but I wanted to focus on the original songs made for the game. To sum it up, the music is great and flows very well. One more thing I would like to add is the beautiful transition of Final Fantasy characters and locations. No town, dungeon, or person feels shoehorned in, and each interact very well with one another, creating a very fluid dynamic as they push the story forward. I had wondered at first how they would bridge the many different locales, but they did an amazing job and didn't overcomplicate the many Final Fantasy worlds colliding with one another. With every base having been covered, let's talk about the world of Final Fantasy's pros and cons. Starting on the pros side, what this game has going for it are the amazing visuals that push the standard of a beautiful and colorful palette, well-developed characters that appear very believable, a good story that doesn't stagnate and keeps the players engaged, and a customizable battle system that rewards experimentation. On the con side, however, I find that the difficulty could have been just a tad tweaked to feel more challenging, and Tama's voice acting. Let me explain why I dislike Tama's voice acting. It has nothing to do with the voice actor at all. I think they did a great job. The issue lies with how Tama has a voice quirk that shoves the word "the" in random places, and this is because in the Japanese version, Tama often uses nanodesu in her voice lines. I get what they were attempting to do by adding this vocal quirk, but I feel it was heavily out of place. Other than that, I can't really find too much wrong with this title, and that's because to many people's surprise, this game was finely crafted despite a few errors here and there. If the difficulty was just a tad more challenging, the game would be close to perfect. But as it is, it's an amazing game that is well worth the cost. With 30+ hours of enjoyment, and that's not including endgame content, this game gave me something to beam about for days to come. And I hope that you find this game just as enjoyable as I did. Hello everyone, I'm Thekasapuppy and thanks for watching. If you liked my review, consider checking out some of my older videos and leaving a sub for future content. And if you want to keep up to date with what I have planned or am contemplating at the moment, check out my Twitter or even my Twitch channel. And with that, I'll see you all in the next video. See ya!